But if Christopher Hitchens can turn on his maker, and so can I. And in Letters to a Young Contrarian, Hitchens writes, "I attack and criticize people myself. I have no right to expect lenience in return. And so lenience there shall not be." The biggest problem with Hitchens' bad arguments was that he presented them so charmingly and convincingly that it's easy to be won over by them. Unfortunately, presenting bad arguments cleverly is the definition of sophistry, and so definitely worth calling out and breaking down. In fact, I think the only way to trust a person's admiration for someone is in the knowledge that they recognize their faults if and where they exist.
Hello, and welcome again to Justified Nonetheless. I'm Kevin Berger, and I apply the principles of polemics and skepticism to atheism and the claims made by atheists. However, in this video, we're going to be doing something different. Anyone who conducts even a cursory investigation of my channel can easily see that I have several videos in which I challenge comments made by Matt Dillahunty. However, if you've actually paid attention in those videos for the purpose of understanding, rather than to formulate counter-arguments or with the intent of immediately dismissing what I have to say with false accusations of copy pasta, gish gallop, talking points, word salad, something similar, you'll have noticed that my view of Matt mirrors that of Alex O'Connor's view of Christopher Hitchens. I actually have a great deal of respect for Matt. In my last video, while I challenged his position of wanting to believe as many true things and not believe as many false things as possible, I conceded that his perspective does have value. Obviously, absolutely. We simply disagree, I think, that there is also value in granting tentative belief to a proposition that may be untrue in the pursuit of knowledge. It is actually because I respect Matt that I challenge him on the issues of a disagreement. It serves as sort of a litmus test or an auditor, if that makes sense. I bear Matt no ill will, and as I have said before, I'm confident that if we were to have a discussion on religion, we would likely find ourselves in agreement more often than not. Which brings us to the reason for this video. Matt recently walked out on a debate with an individual who shall remain nameless on a channel which shall also remain nameless because I don't think either are worth platforming or promoting. This debate was supposed to be regarding which ideology is better for humanity between Christianity and secular humanism. Matt walked out after his opponent's opening statement because at no point during the statement did this individual level criticism toward secular humanism or defend his own position. In other words, at no point during his 10-minute rant was he ever on topic. Rather, the entirety of the opening salvo was directed at Matt himself. Therefore, Matt was justified in walking out. Here's a recap of the situation from Matt's point of view.
Andrew, there weren't any other questions that he posed during his opening that need much of an answer. He's straw manning the entire aspect of gender ideology and trans issues. And he specifically lied, didn't defend what he was going to defend, conceded my worldview, and then came with a plan to just attack me.
What should matter in a discussion or debate ought to be the content of the participants' positions, the arguments, evidence, and logic employed, not the presentation, and certainly not the participants themselves. Debate should serve as the arena of ideas and not a spectacle like a circus. If one cannot demonstrate the strength of one's position based on sound reasoning and evidence, and how it is superior to the opponent's position, and instead focuses on the arguer, one should probably reevaluate the validity of the position itself. I have said before, and I will say again, and maybe I'll tear a page out of Matt's book and put this on a t-shirt myself, ad hominem attacks are the last bastion of defense for those who have no legitimate arguments. In other words, once you have to resort to attacking the person, you've already lost. In summary, yes, Matt's opponent should have defended his own position. Yes, Matt's opponent should have critiqued secular humanism. Yes, he should have stayed on the agreed upon topic. And yes, Matt was wholly justified in walking out on an opponent who was unwilling to engage the topic with intellectual honesty. No, I don't say this because I like Matt, respect Matt, or because I agree with Matt on everything, because I don't. Clearly. I say this because that's how honest discourse works in reality. And if you're not going to engage with intellectual honesty, you ought not be engaging at all. So with that in mind, I will tell you again, just because your beliefs aren't necessarily true, they should be justified nonetheless.